Shalom, all praises to the Most High, Anoka said. Praise be to the earthly mother, the Pachamama, and all of her earthly angels, the Erkadeshwe. Praise be to the Holy Spirit, the Kahe, in the name of his only begotten Son, Motsah the Lamb, unification to the nation. Bro, I have a absolute unbelievable video for you guys. A set of videos, because I'm going to try to do 3 videos tonight. I'll release them whenever they're done. But Big Judah shared a book on Patreon, and he was gracious enough to leave me with 2 pages. And these 2 pages are incredible because they're going to go with many of the things that I've been speaking on. And I'm not certain whether these are I'm thinking about how I'm going to articulate this. But you know what? I'm going to leave this for a second. Let's just continue. Let's just start this. So, I went over this concept of the Jewish Golem, right? And the concept of a Golem, it's similar to the concept of a Goyim. Just the same thing as there's Gentile and Jentil. I'll even type it in. Gentil. We've gone to this before. And this comes from a Basque legend. The Gentil or Gentilac are a race of giants in Basque mythology, the word meaning Gentile, from Latin gentilis, was used to refer to pre-Christian civilizations, and in particular to the builders of the megalithic monuments, to which the other Basque mythology legend, the Mayoruac, are involved too. And these are different, right? The Gentil or the Gentilac or the Gentile are different. But they were believed to be the ones who created the megalithic structures. And if you've wondered, well, how did we make Stonehenge? How did we make Machu Picchu? How did we make Sacsayhuaman? Well, first, there's 2 different giants, right? Now, these are the ones who were the ones who built dolmens, right? Like, I guess things like this, or Harrisville, but they're only found in mountains. So this means moor in Basque. This term is used with the sense of non-Christian to refer to former civilizations or megalithic monuments. Now, I'm interested in the moor connection, because there is some sort of connection with the Moors and the giants. So, does that mean that there are created giants and natural giants? Is that what it means? Meaning there are white giants and black giants? Oh, did I say too much? Let's go to the Wodewose of Europe. This is what they were doing. These giants, these big, hairy Gentils or Gentiles, this is how they came to be and start to look like us. And people believe that these things are human, but there are people here who are right next to us, who are among us, who do not come from Adam. They are created beings without a soul. I'm dead serious. Because if the soul comes from your seed line, comes from the man, if this occurs between a woman and that, then there's a reason why we're calling the other nations Gentiles. Because they're so mixed up with these things, you don't even know who has a spirit or not. And it makes so much sense why these barbaric animals act the way that they do today. And I'm not talking about all people who are so-called white. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about a sect of them. Whoever that sect is, the Most High knows. But yes, they were here. And are some of these things natural? Are some of these things created? I don't know. But what I do know is that there is a created version of them. And there's a natural version of them. Does that mean that one are Moorish and the others aren't? Because you will never find a picture of a black Wodewose. You'll never find a picture of a black Gentil, a melanated Gentil. You'll always find a white one, quote unquote, with elongated skulls. You usually find the so-called white red-headed giants. And in another video that Big Judah did, he went over the fact that these giants are literally the same giants as the ones of North America, the Talagui, the mound builders, right? This is why I'm trying to tell people, don't take credit for every single thing, right? The Peruvians said that we didn't build some of this stuff. It was the people before us. It was what? And who were before the Peruvians? We know who the Peruvians really are. We know who the Inca really are. So what are they really talking about? Are they talking about the Amorites? The Jebusites? Did they know how to make golems? Did they procreate with golems to make themselves like that? Is that what happened? Is that what happened? But that's not only what happened, because they're survivors of the flood from the seed line of Cain, as it speaks about in the legend of the Jews. So there are just a bunch of different places where these people come from. But why am I saying all this? Because, Yashua, you've said this stuff in previous videos. Yes, I have. But this puzzle, I'm trying to make sense of this whole thing, because I'm trying to get a reading on where these people originate from, because Shem, Ham, and Japheth did not look like that. Shem, Ham, and Japheth were all melanated. Japhet was light-skinned, maybe. Maybe the people of Japhet were light-skinned, but up until what point? Was that before or after they mixed with these things? Because as it seems, Japhet seemed to be interested in the seed line of Cain. He was chasing after their women, right? So Japhet were the ones who were mixing in with these things more than everyone else. Sorry about that, but let's read this. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, because I have other videos I want to make after this. So I hope you guys are free tonight. Golem in Jewish folklore, an image endowed with life. The term is used in the Bible, Psalms 139 verse 16, and in Talmudic literature to refer to an embryonic or incomplete substance. It is assumed its present connotation in the Middle Ages, when many legends arose of wise men who could bring effigies to life by means of a charm or of a combination of letters forming a sacred word or one of the names of God. What does it sound like? It sounds like the Druids, and I'm going to go over a movie that a brother sent to me. And I have a long movie list, but this is moving to the front, because this is something that's crazy, and I haven't watched it yet. I just read it, like what the premise is on Wikipedia. It's crazy. It's crazy. The letters removal deanimated the golem. In early golem tales, the golem was usually a perfect servant, his only fault being too literal or mechanical or fulfillment of his master's orders. In the 16th century, the golem acquired the character of protector of the Jews in the time of persecution, but also had the frightening aspect. The most famous tale involves the golem created in the 16th century Rabbi Judah Lo ben Bezulel, of Prague. It was the basis for Gustav's Meyrink's novel Der Golem, for a classic of German silent films, which provided many details on the movement and behavior of man-made monsters that were later adopted in the popular American horror films on the Frankenstein theme. So what is Frankenstein based on? Got it. But it seems like the Gentils, or another group of people, maybe these are the natural giants, and maybe these Moorish ones were the created ones. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe these are the ones on our side, and maybe these are the enemies. Because it kind of seems like there are damn enemies now, and if they aren't, then who are they? I don't know. But what I do know is that this occurred. A whole lot of this occurred, and now we have a bunch of people who don't have a soul, who aren't from Adam, who act like animals. And that's why I need to speak on so-called white people. Because some of them come from these things. Some of them don't, some of them do. Got it? Good. Yakub, Nation of Islam. In the beliefs of the Nation of Islam, Yakub was a black scientist who lived 6,600 years ago and began the creation of the white race. He is said to have done this through a form of selective breeding referred to as grafting while living on the Isle of Patmos. The Nation of Islam theology states that Yakub is the biblical Jacob. The story has caused disputes within the Nation of Islam during its history under its current leader, Louis Farrakhan. The Nation of Islam continues to assert that the story of Yakub is true, claiming that modern science is consistent with it. So who created our biggest enemies right now? Who did it? Or is this the black one? Is this the black Wodewose? I just came across this. Wow. Is this the Moorish one? Is this where all of these Moors come from? Or is this just a dark-skinned white one? Who knows, man? Interesting stuff, right? So who created these things? Was it actually us? Were we the ones who created the Gentiles? Something to think about. But nah, I think that they were there from a long time ago. I think that story is an allegory for something else, or it's a real thing that occurred. Maybe we created our enemy by us disobeying the Most High, because he said he was going to bring a nation from afar, a nation who's not a people, quite literally. Quite literally, they don't have any souls. And when we study the Māori, why are all these different legends of these different giants on all the lands, all the true lands of Shem, all in the Pacifics, all in the Americas, in the British Isles? Why? What is going on here? Well, before we get into this video, I wanted to read this, because I'm actually afraid to play this video. I just thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. This photograph is from the Old Time Māori by Makiri T. Papakura. She notes that the blonde, fair child and the father are both Urukihu, while some believe that the Urukihu, fair-headed, fair-skinned Māori are the offspring of the fairy people, Patuparahi, the fairy people. Remember, the fairy people. They are the offspring of the fairy people, the fairies. Who are the fairies? Markiriti Papakura believe that this light-skinned strand dates back to the traditional Polynesian homeland of Hawaii or Lemuria, Hawilia. I mean that quite literally. It literally means Hawilia, Hawaii, Hawilia, or Hawilla, however it's said when this loads. My computer is acting really slow because I have so many tabs open. Look, ha, and that means the, Hawala, or Hawila, Hawaii, Hawila. And she says that the albino Maori are the product of the union between the Maori and the Patuparahi, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. She describes the Patuparahi as supernatural children of the mist. What does that sound like? The Chachapoya, the cloud people. So who are the Canaanites? Who are these giant red-headed white people who are on all of our lands that we're so desperately trying to kill? Why are we trying to kill these poor white people? Who are Canaan? Who are the Canaanites? Seen in distinct form in the passing mist, they are fair and are clothed in flimsy white like the web of the spider. What do they say? That they are a product. The albino Maori are the product, the union. Stop mixing with Canaan. Stop it. No, we don't care, Most High. We're going to do it any damn way. Before I get to this, I want to go to what Big Judah put here. There's a reason why he has a Patreon, man, because I wasn't able to get this book anyway, but even so, this information is too hot, and Big Judah and I are not studying the same thing, so I don't think he has noticed what I've noticed, the commonality that these red-headed giants keep coming up. And we have to put together that the natives, our own people, called them light-skinned. I'm not calling them that. All these light-skinned people who were flesh-eating, right? They ate flesh. I'm going to make a whole nother video on this concept of Peru where they're speaking about these giants in detail. But they ate flesh. They dwelled in caves. What does that sound like? It's either Canaan, Cain, Edom, or who else? A golem? I don't know. Moving from the astronomically and scientifically exact stones to the maze of the fairy legends surrounding them is at first glance a peculiar juxtaposition, but when examined, it is appropriate in its correct historical context. Throughout Scottish mythology, fairies and giants are closely associated with the building of the megalithic circles and alignments. These, as in England, Ireland, and Wales, are created with a highly supernatural function. The generation of magical energy, conjoined to the movements of the observed heavenly bodies. The spiritual science of divination through astronomy is the science of Atlantis, carried on by survivors in all the colonies, where the old knowledge was adapted and reinterpreted by guardians of the sacred flame. So, where was the true antediluvian place? Because as far as what it seems, Atlantis was around before the flood and it's not around now. But the information came from there. And it seems that there were different looking people. Because I can't put my finger on it because these so-called Aryans, if that's who they are, because that's what they're claiming to be, They're trying to hijack everything and say that they were there. And they were there. But who were they? I was just telling my brother this. You know how they would bring out the fool for the king's court? They were the fools. And we were the kings. And now they're trying to say that they're both the fool and the king because they don't even want us there. They're not even going to say that we were the fools. They'll just say that, there were no black people there. We were all looking like this. Right? And I use those terms colloquially because I don't like those terms at all, but those are the only terms people understand these days. In the legends and tales of elves and fairies, the civilizations of the preceding races in Scotland are forever perpetuated as a traditional folk memory. It is a folk memory that never fails to credit these beings with vast powers over nature and the ability to control all variety of psychic and astronomical phenomena. Now, I find it odd that they would change every single mention of a fairy to always mean a pixie or things like that. And I don't think that they're wrong fully, but they're trying to hide something because they'll mention dwarves, they'll mention fairies, but they won't mention giants. Because all a fairy is a homunculus. We went over this in my Origin of White People video. All a fairy is a homunculus. Right? And when we trace that homunculus or fairy that was located in Argentina, aka in Mount Seir, the lineage traces to Western Europe. Let me see. In folk tales such as this, the majesty of the supernatural Scottish races lives on in the minds of men, renewed in vision from generation to generation. It must be stated here that it was only from Elizabethan times that fairies were described as tiny, ethereal beings, flitting delicately from flower to flower and bathing coyly in buttercups. Before Shakespeare, many were vested with a stature and strength as, if not greater, than man, and they were looked to as powerful and magical beings, and possessors of occult secrets that were constantly sought after by the inquiring and ambitious humans who followed them. So there are two groups of people. There are two groups of people here. There are antediluvian people here. And when you flip the evil, when you flip the good and make it evil, you can have power too. But it seems like there is a, created group of giants, a natural group of giants. Not, you know what I mean by natural, but there's something very strange here. It seems like there are more than one group of giants, because if we're able to make golems, if we're able to make Nephilims, kind of, but we're able to do it in a righteous way, I'm kind of confused. Does that mean that the wicked are making their golems? Are those the people who they've put as the face of their evil doings? I'm gonna have to split this video up into mad videos because this is already a long video. So, the Patuparahi. In the misty mountain tops or deep in the forest live the Patuparahi, fairy-like being. Now we know what a fairy is, who were seldom seen. They could lure people away from safety with the music of their flutes and have the magic powers and special knowledge. Some believe that the red-haired Maori are their descendants. Wait a minute. With their flutes? Did I read that right? Does that not sound like Pan, the goat god? Does that not sound like Pan? That don't sound like him? With the erect phallus luring the children in with the panpipes to rape the children, who many so-called white people cosplay as today because they're venerating their fathers. What does this look like? Did you know that Samael is the patron angel or guardian angel of Edom? He is also depicted as a goat demon. Let's continue. In Maori tradition, Patuparahi are also known as Turihu, and Pakiha were fairy-like creatures of forests and mountaintops. Although they had some human attributes, Patuparahi were regarded not as people but as supernatural beings. They were seldom seen, and an air of mystery and secrecy still surrounds them. In most traditions, those who encountered Patuparahi were able to understand their language, but in one account they were unintelligible. Now let's see how they looked. Patuparahi had light skin and a red or fair hair. Historian James Cohen was told that they were lighter complexion than Maori. Their hair was a dull golden or reddish hue. Urukihu, such as is sometimes seen in Maori of today. Unlike Maori, they were never tattooed. They keep in the Most High's laws more than the people. Crazy. This person described their skin as white, albino, or the color of a red ochre. Who are these people today? Their eye color varied from light blue to black. There is still debate about their height. The Tuho tribe records that they were small, but others say they were similar in size to humans. Wanganui stories claim them to be giants, more than 2 meters tall. This stuff is crazy, bro, because it's all the same thing over and over and over again. The Nahulos, right? The Talagui, the Chachapoya. It keeps going and going and going. All light-skinned, red hair, ate flesh. Wait a minute, but we got something else to get into. Patuparahi were hunter-gatherers surviving on raw forest foods and sometimes fishing from the shores of the sea or a lake. Their canoes were made of korahi, flax stalks. Cooked food was offensive to them. Was offensive or foul to them. Cooked food was offensive or foul to them. Cooked food was offensive or foul to them. There's a reason why I'm saying this. In different traditions, albino birds and eels, red flax, and red eels were considered their property, and trouble befell Maori who took any of these. Fearing the light. What do they hate? The light. They were active mainly in the twilight hours and at night, or when the mist was heavy enough to shield them. They wore flax garments, dyed red, but also rough mats. They were also known for playing flutes. Panaturi are sometimes described as sea fairies. Now, there's some of them are hairy giants in the woods playing the flutes. Some of them come from the sea. I'm just like, how did I not look this stuff up before? They had red hair and white skin, and fingers with long evil claws. They spent their days under the sea, only coming onto land at night. Like the Patuparahi, they feared sunlight and fire. One tradition tells of Tahaki taking revenge on the Panaturi for killing his father. He tricked them into staying in his house after dawn, and he and his brother opened the doors and windows to let light flood into the house in order to kill their captives. Am I making this up? So when I'm talking about these people are part ape, part fish. Where did they come from? Are they the created beings from before the flood who survived, or that's who they are? When people sinned against animals, is this what it is? Is this what happened? I'm asking. And did they spread around the world? Did they intermarry with Edom and Canaan? Or are they Canaan? It's hard to say. But the fact that we're trying to kill them off the land lets me know that they have some sort of connection to Canaanites. But how were they described? They feared the light. The light kills them. Cooked food was offensive or foul to them. Let's get ready to rumble. I love watching mukbangs. I don't. But this one, like, I'd watch it 3 more times if I could. But I just don't have the time, man. I don't have the time, but I would love to watch a Nephilim eat their food. It is usually people with these high amounts of Neanderthal DNA who are eating this stuff. This is who they are. These people invaded the true people of Asia. I'm just letting you know. I'm not saying that if you look like this, there's something, that you're one of them. If you're from the seed line, you're one of them. But I don't know what seed line anyone's from. Look at that. Oh, I'm about to throw the F up, bro. Oh, look at that. It's so good. All that blood and... Oh, he literally eats all this shit. This is just crazy to me. Oh, what the hell is going on, bro? He's not gagging or nothing. He's like, oh yeah, it's good. Oh, it's good. Bro, that's crazy. Oh yeah, it's the liver.
Hi, I'm Wendy Marshall, and I enjoy eating raw meat.
Hold up, I gotta get this in context.
Hi, I'm Wendy Marshall, and I enjoy eating raw meat. In other cultures, it's their everyday life. Like, that's what they do. They have a big variety of meats, insects. But here in America, when I do it, people find it odd, weird. People come at me very negatively. But it's just something that I enjoy and I like it.
One more bite, because I can't stop eating it.
Hey, we're at the grocery store and I'm gonna come in here.
There you go. Oh, I got more, bro. I got more. Bro, just look up eating raw meat. Tell me if you find... What? Oh, I spoke too soon. I was like, tell me if you find a black person. But hey, here's the thing. Some black people descend from them too. You think this only happened to... Hold up. What the heck? You think that Wodewose picture I showed you only happened to white people? No, my friend. But the majority of the people... It is, it's white people, and it's these Asian people. I'm not saying it's all of them, but look at this. This is disgusting as hell. Dipping raw meat in feces. These people ain't humans. You think these people are humans? They're eating raw meat, bro. Raw meat? The blood dripping out? What? Like what? It don't make sense. But these meat eaters, they're Neanderthals. It all makes sense. Look at that, bro. He ate that with pride, bro. You think these people are humans? Think they come from Adam? Nope, sorry. I ain't buying that, bro. I ain't buying it. There's something afoot. There's something that needs to be spoken of. This is a heathen practice. We didn't even eat meat. And we cooked our damn meat. This is a heathen thing. When I mean heathen, I truly mean heathen. I tried looking this up. I thought I was gonna see a lot of people who who denied it. Bro, look. I'm a white guy and I like rare meats. As others have said, it tastes better. So the blood tastes good. Why do black people love their meat well done? Because we're Adamic, that's why. Some of us believe that a rare steak is tastier. I've had blood, it was tasty. Some people could be trolling, but I'm just letting you know that redness isn't really blood, and it's still in there in well done meat. It's true. That's why I'm just like, bro, I ain't really trying to eat that. It's just cooked myoglobin then. Anyway, I like medium rare best because of how it tastes. I can enjoy a good steak anywhere from rare to almost well done, but medium rare just tastes best to me. You're nasty. I prefer to eat beef medium rare because it tastes better that way and is more tender. You said I think it's rural areas. No, nigga, no one who's a Melanite like my brother S Black be saying eats meat rare. They usually cook their damn meat. So I don't know what you're talking about. No one who's from Adam, unless they're following some sort of heathen, likes their meat like that. It doesn't taste good. It tastes horrible. I tasted a drop of blood in my meat before because I undercooked it a little bit. I almost threw up. And these people are like, oh my god, it's so good. What? And then it's just like, oh, you know, you're ruining the steak if you eat it well done. Okay, good for me then. I like ruining steaks. I was recently at an Indian restaurant with my daughter. When the food arrived, the couple sitting next to us, the man let out a very loud yum, yum, yummy. It made us giggle. We almost choked. Why do I like beef bloody? Because it's yum, yum, yummy. So all these people are proudly saying it. And she said, aren't you generalizing here? And he is. But here's the thing. Can you disprove this? Have you seen a good amount of so-called black people eat their meat raw? I look for the statistic. I can't find it. But this is just known. This is just common knowledge that so-called white and Asian people like to eat their food raw. You said, I know plenty of white people who prefer their meat well done. That said, I'm not one of them. Thank you for your honesty. When it comes right down to it, I found just about any meat tastes better, raw, rare, or raw. Steak tartare, mild and delicious. Oh, I'm about to throw up. You're nasty, bro. Same for sushi. All the non-sushi eaters I know think that sushi is incredibly fishy. Not so, the fishiness comes out as it cooks. Raw fish is light, fresh, and clean tasting. Pork is being served pink nowadays. That's not food, bro, but hey, I really don't consider cattle food anyway. I'm a black person and I like my meat medium rare. You are? Okay. I don't like meat that is so dry and hard that I choke on it. You don't have, it doesn't have to be, well, whatever. I don't even care, bro. So there you go. So you have your what do they call it? The Patuparahis in the mix. I just looked up these questions and there's a bunch of people say, "Oh no, blood tastes great," and I'm just like, "What in the world?" I did not think I would find so many. And they, you know, a lot of people they got offended, but none of them denied it. And he said, and not all white people eat meat raw. I'm pretty sure all races of people do it also, which is true. But who mainly does it? Listen, man, generalizations are only stupid if they're wrong. I'm just saying, man. You are quite right. We must understand that the devil was banished from the original people for his wickedness into the hills and caves of Europe, where he went savage. Now, the history tells us that he went savage. That is meant to be taken literally. Those devils began to walk on all fours, eat meat raw, and many even grew 6-inch tails that are even present in many of them in this modern day, but they removed them at birth. The devil's desire for raw beef is simply evidence of his many, many years in caves living a beast life. He's right. He's right. He's not wrong. I'm not saying that's all so-called white people today, but that is them historically. That's just what it is. And he says some people believe the food is healthiest when it's rare. What? What the box side are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, they either get offensive, like, oh, all races like it. That's the same thing they do. Well, we're all the children, we're all God's people, right? Or we all like it. No, we don't. The raw meat, is that a white people thing? And then he's like, you know, like you just like, have you ever tried a medium rare steak? Try it, then ask the question again. And he said, I have. I had to spit it out though. I couldn't get it down. I'd rather burn it rather than bring it red. Why? Why? I think white people are typically the ones that do not have some sort of religious prohibition towards raw meat. Maybe just my guess though, that's not true. A lot of so-called white Americans are Christians, right? And they love the Most High until they find out that he's not on their side for what they do, and then they're just like, oh. There's a reason why these people are called Gentiles, because they're mixed in with these cave beasts. They've mixed in with them, right? They've mixed in with them. They can be from Shem, Ham, or Japhet. So that's all I wanted to go over in this video. It says that they came from this mountain, Mount Pyrongia. That's the mountains that they dwell in. They dwell in the clefts of the rocks. Who did Edom marry? Do you even have to ask anymore? A few other videos to come. Peace be with you. Selah Kalah.